All right. We are live, everybody. Someone telling them to go
I
refresh.
am, yes.
Perfect, perfect. Let's see here. Cool, everyone. So welcome down here tonight. My name is Jordan Schultz, and we've got an exciting topic planned for you. This is Team Be the Change. This is actually our weekly team training, but we'd like to open it up to the public, to give not only our team a chance to learn everything, but also other people on the outskirts that are looking in to just kind of see what it is that we're all about, what it is that we do. And how we train our team members, a little bit of it. Obviously, we got a lot of stuff inside of our team site that you don't get access to until you pay money, and we do that for a reason because we want to keep the best stuff for our team. But certainly, we're going to give you guys some good stuff tonight. What I learned here, what I'm going to teach you here, along with Amy and Chris, what we're going to teach you is just absolutely phenomenal. It took my business. I was calculating numbers today, and I'll tell you about them in a little bit. But I was actually almost appalled at not even almost. I was like disgusted by what I calculated today, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. So first, let me just introduce the topic, and then Amy and Chris can jump out. You're here to learn how to increase your monthly residual check with no extra effort. That's what we're going to be discussing tonight throughout the course of the evening. We also, again, we have some team stuff going on, so we've got some announcements for our team members and a few other things. So with that, throw it to Amy or Chris or whichever one.
Hi, everybody. Welcome out to our Tuesday night hangout. It's great to see everyone as usual. And yeah, excited about tonight's topic. It's simple yet profound and extremely life-changing when you apply it. So I'm excited to be talking about that. And Chris is visiting Josh and Bree right now, so you might see them jumping in too. And anyway, I'll pass it over to you, Chris.
Absolutely. Thank you, Amy. And yes, I am traveling. A lot of you guys know I wasn't able to make the last hangout. I drove all the way from Alaska, and now I'm currently in California, Sacramento area. I've driven the whole Alaska highway. I stopped all the way along the way to, for a few minutes and get on conference calls and then keep on driving. We've got some funny stories about that. And I'm down here at Josh and Bree's right now. For those of you that are in the team and know Josh and Bree, come on over. Say hi, everybody. Josh and Bree Silva.
How's it going?
Our supermodel couple.
All right.
I know, they're beautiful. So yeah, this is actually my last planned stop along the way before I get back to Colorado and actually do some work, actually do something. But yeah, it's been an awesome trip. It's been crazy. The last 3 days I spent with my 5 nieces and nephews at my sister's house, and wow, it was like I didn't have enough ears for how each of them were talking to me at once, telling me things. It was awesome. It was so much fun to hang out with them again and everything. So got a chance to see family. I only get a chance to see them, probably once a year. So it's been a good time, and long road trip. I always like long road trips, but ready to get back at it. But it's definitely been a beautiful time just driving through the scenery, going through Alaska and everything. It's pretty amazing. I've got some cool videos that I made. I haven't released yet, but I will soon when I get back, and I can cut them up and everything. So yeah, other than that, what you're talking about tonight, Jordan, is something that it makes a lot of sense. This is something that is directly related to the reason as to why such a large proportion of our company and what we do comes from people who have a background in network marketing and MLM. It's not everybody, because there's a lot of affiliate marketers and people who are entrepreneurs that want to learn how to run businesses online. And so the cool thing is, for those of you that are from that part of the market, there's still some here for you tonight that you're going to be able to have some cool insight into. But tonight also, for a lot of you who are specifically been in network marketing or the multi-level marketing industries with companies and a lot of the funny things, we'll probably laugh and joke about it, and laugh in one breath, and then probably in the other breath be like, that's really true, that's pathetic. And then we'll talk about it and show you how we've solved a lot of those issues here. So back on over to you, Jordan.
Awesome. I am hearing an echo now from somewhere.
I just had the feeling that might start happening. So
right on. Getting into it, folks. Like I said, I was looking back through some numbers here earlier today. And I was looking back over a company I was in. And I don't remember which number of company this is, but I was looking back through some of the different companies I was in, and I've been in a few different companies over the years. And aside from like affiliate marketing companies or internet marketing companies, I've been involved in and selling a lot of different affiliate products over the years. I've been involved in a few MLM/network marketing companies. And when looking back on it, the dream for network marketing has always been, like what we call long-term residual income. Something that takes a little while to build up, but once you get it there, you've got this nice, amazing residual income that can last you a very, very, very long time, right? And that's kind of the dream. That's kind of what's preached in network marketing. And it can be true. I'm not saying it's not true. I've seen people make a lot of money inside of different network marketing companies. I've seen a lot of people make a lot of different money. A lot of good friends of mine make money in those companies. I really don't have an issue with the business model at all. I really don't have an issue with it. But some of the stuff we're going to share here tonight is going to help you to increase your residual income with no more work. And so, folks, who wants to make more money with no more work? Like, who would like to do the same amount of work that you're currently doing? Provided you've actually made some money so far. Who would like to increase that number with doing no more work? Can make some noise. I'll see some comments here in a second. I know there's a delay and whatnot, so I'm just gonna kind of keep talking here. But so I remember years ago I was sitting at an event. Me and one of my business partners, we were throwing a live event here in Colorado. And it was late one night, and I was talking to another friend of mine who was a speaker at our event. He was like a sneak peek speaker. He came in and like last minute, and we had him come up and talk. He was awesome. But we were sitting having a beer one night and talking about a few different things. Now, this particular guy markets a few different companies. And he does extremely well in all of them. In everything he touches, he does well. He's built teams in the tens of thousands. He's built teams. One of his companies, he built a team of over 50,000 reps in his team and all that good stuff. And so we were chatting, and we were talking about the kind of money that we were making and what we were doing and all this other stuff. And I said, to be honest with you, a majority of my money is coming from all my different affiliate income streams, from me selling different tools and things of that nature. And I'm not really making a ton of money with my primary network marketing business, And he said, well, why not? I mean, he's like, haven't you brought in a lot of people? I think I had sponsored somewhere at that point in time. I don't remember what the exact number was. I know it was somewhere between like 130 and 140. Over the lifetime in that company, I sponsored somewhere in the 160s. I forget what the exact number is. I'd have to go look. Personally, frontline sponsors. And at the end of being in that company for 2 years, I realized that I'd only ever made $300 a month on average. Now that's not just residual; that was actually including, bonuses, upfront bonuses, all the different stuff that I was making, right? So, what I realized was that, me marketing as much as I had, building as big of a frontline team as I had, I wasn't making any kind of money whatsoever, and it was kind of like I didn't realize how bad it was until he had actually called me out on it at that point in time. I mean, how many of you out there have been in a network marketing company and realize you're just not making as much money as you want to be making? You realize that, you might have done a lot of work, you might have brought quite a few people in, and you're just like, why am I not making the kind of money I want to be making? That's where I was at that point in time. And he said something to me that completely shifted what I did. I switched my focus a little while later, and should we just get right into it, guys? Should we jump right into what the focus is, or do you guys got anything you want to say before I share with them the secret?
Let's go for it.
All right.
Give the secrets, Jordan. Give the secrets.
I think they're ready for the secrets. So, the thing is, folks, everyone on our team actually already knows this secret. So if you're here as a guest, pay really close attention right now. You see, that company that I was in, it's going to remain nameless. And, I've been in a few different companies, and really it's been the same for pretty much every company. I made somewhere around like 5% or so. 5% commissions on what I was selling, right? And I made it on basically half of the people that I brought in, because we were working in a particular pay structure, a particular pay model. And he said, how many people would you have to bring in to get to a $5,000 a month income? Like how many people would you have to do if you wanted to get $5,000 or $6,000 a month, somewhere in there? That's typically like the number that a lot of people like to go for in the beginning. Like that's kind of what they're shooting for is, if I could just get to like a $5,000 a month income level, Like that would allow me, that would allow a lot of people to like quit their jobs, be more comfortable. If they had that kind of residual income coming in on a regular basis, it would allow a lot of people in America and really the entire world to be comfortable. 10,000 is obviously the next step, and that really allows a lot of people to just be set free. Nice. Awesome. Um, just totally lost my train of thought here. But so
You would be set free.
I would be set free, right? And a lot of people would be happy with that kind of income. And I'm assuming that everyone here would be happy if they started making $5,000 or $10,000 a month if they've never made that kind of money before. And I said, man, I need to have about 2,000 people in my team. I need to bring about 2,000 people into my company in order for me to make that kind of money. And he said, man, you're kind of foolish. And everyone out here, I'm not calling you foolish. I'm calling myself foolish at the time because I knew what he was about to tell me, and I knew what we're about to tell you already. And I, for whatever reason, was ignoring it. I was like, no, that's not the right way. No, this is the right way. I want to do it this way. And I was like stuck and gung-ho on doing it the old way. And he said, if I bring 50 people, 50, so 50, 50, however you want to say that, 50 people into my company, if I bring 50 people into my company, I can have a $6,000 a month residual income. 50 people, right? Now, the question you got to ask yourself, and the question I asked myself at that time, he said, Jordan, would you rather be bringing in 2,000 people or 50 people? Like, what do you think is easier to sponsor? Now here's the crazy thing. Some people are like, well, the crazy thing is that the people that are coming in are paying the same amount of money either way, right? They're paying the same amount of money, and I'm either going to make a lot of money or I'm going to make a little bit of money. The people that are in my team are going to pay the same amount month after month for their auto ship, and I'm either going to make a lot of money or I'm going to make a little bit of money. And the introduction, I mean, some of you should probably know what we're getting at here. It's 100% commissions, right? You see, when I switched over, when I finally listened to him, it actually took me like a month and a half, 2 months for that to really set into my brain. Because I actually, after talking to him, I went on a bunch of vacations, because I was making a ton of money from like side income streams and whatnot. So I went on a bunch of vacations at that point in time. And when I got back, I realized, I said, man, he's right. Like, what am I doing? I'm sitting here busting my ass, putting in as many people as I can, sponsoring more people than I've brought into my team now personally, and making way less money. Like, what am I thinking? Doesn't it just make sense? If I'm going to sell something for $125 a month or more, doesn't it make sense that I get paid that $125 a month? Or would I rather get paid, it was $5 a month on every 2 people that I brought in, right? So basically $2.50 a month for selling something that's $125. Like, what would you rather have? What makes more sense logically, business-wise? I mean, to bring in less people and make more money, and the thing about it is, folks, is that doesn't even include all the different commissions that we get for, the one-time commissions that we make for selling our higher-end products here. So this is just strictly talking about the upfront residual commissions, that we make here. And I literally make more every single month than I made in 2 years in that company. It's absolutely, I didn't realize it until I actually looked back and crunched the numbers right now, but it was appalling, disgusting. I almost threw up today when I looked at the numbers. I went through the old emails of saying, here's here's your weekly paycheck. And I went through and I added them up on this calculator right here. I added them up and it was like $6,100 and $6,136 is what I made in 2 years, right? I was making all my money from other stuff, teaching people how to sponsor, right? I could teach people how to sponsor into anything, but doesn't it make sense if you're going to sponsor people into something that you're actually making money off of bringing people in? There's a few different things that I want to touch on tonight, but first I want to throw it over to Amy or Chris to touch on that topic. There's a few other things I want to bring to your point.
Definitely. I just want to quickly totally confirm and attest to the fact that there were many times when I also tried to tell you that same line of thinking, and I was like, why is he not listening yet about where we were at and what it was?
Well, he's made millions in the industry. That was a little bit more of a slap in the face.
Yeah, that's true, and that's why. But yeah, I'm just totally backing it up, man. I remember that. I remember trying to talk to you, and you're like, yeah, well, it was a good run while it lasted. It was cool, whatever. I'm going to go over here and call all my leads. Like,
yeah. Oh, man. Ooh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's all. That is all.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, when I got into this company, I I got in. I'd been with my other company. I'm still in my other company. I still get paid residual income from my other company. And, you know, it's pretty awesome considering I haven't done anything in 2.5 years. I still get a check in the mail every single month. That being said, that check isn't and never was enough to support my family, even though I was working my ass off. Basically, because of what Jordan just said, you know, the percentage of commission was so much less. And so when I first got into Empower Network, you know, the main reason that I joined was because I wanted to dive into the products that are available here that teach you how to market, especially on the internet, and apply that knowledge to my other business. I wanted to know how to get more leads, and I was passionate about internet marketing, and my company didn't teach us anything about that. So I thought, well, I'll join Empower Network, and I'll use that to build this business. And I was doing that in the beginning, but what ended up happening was people were starting to join me in Empower Network because they wanted basically to do the same thing. And what started to happen for me was within 2 months, I had replaced the residual income in my other company that it took me 9 years to create. And so like Jordan was talking about feeling foolish. I mean, like I was like, I would be foolish to keep putting my energy into that when this is paying me way more money. And that's when I made the decision, and it was a hard decision because I had been marketing this company for 9 years, you know, but it was like, you know, I've got a family to support here. So for the same amount of work, it makes more sense. I mean, and I was making that money without really even doing much because I was still putting most of my focus into the other thing. So that's when I decided that I needed to shift my focus and focus on the one that pays way more. And I actually made a video about this that I ended up putting on the homepage of my blog that still gets me leads all the time, because basically it's about, are you being loyal to your company or are you being loyal to yourself and your family? Like, that's a question that I finally asked myself, and it's like, yeah, I love my company, I love the community, I love the products. I've been with this company for 9 years, it's like my family, but it's not paying the bills. And like I have a family to support here. So when I'm like weighing apples and oranges, and it's like, well, this one's actually paying me really, really well, and this one's not. Like, it was a no-brainer for me to switch. And then once I did that, my income shot through the roof. So like Jordan said, it's with no extra work. As a matter of fact, it's less work than what I was doing before, because I'm not cleaning my house every day to have parties, and I'm not, you know, like home party type stuff, and I'm not calling, I'm not on the phone anymore, cold calling or doing any of the things that I was doing before, and yet I'm making way more money because we do make 100% commissions. And I don't know if you know the percentage, Jordan, but I know that a pretty big percentage, at least on my team, I know a large percentage of the people that join us at the $25 level also plug into the Inner Circle training, which is the biggest contribution to mining inside of that Inner Circle, which is a monthly membership for $100 a month. Being able to listen to those audios every day is what has helped me and so many of my team members. And so a large, you know, percentage of the people that buy the $25 level also buy the 100. And so that's, like Jordan said, it's $125 per month residual income per person, rather than, was, you know, for me it was the same thing. It was 5% I was getting paid on my the people that I personally sponsored. And so, you know, I was selling something for $150, and I was making 5% of that instead of, you know, here, $125 worth of products, I get paid $125, and that's residual. So if you add that up, you know, if you sponsor 100 people, that's $12,500, minus a couple pass-ups in there. But it's still significant considering I sponsored hundreds of people into my other business. And I never, not one month ever in 9 years did I make $12,000, never. So it's, yeah, it's amazing. The difference is amazing. And, you know, and so people actually ask me all the time, you know, when they're building another business, you know, would this be helpful for me? And I say, absolutely it would. And the training inside of this, the products in this company are amazing. And it provides an amazing second stream of income, because if you decide to resell the products, you can resell the products that you own and make 100% commissions. it's a good way to supplement your income. And that being said, I always let them know what ended up happening for me. You know, it's great to build your business, but you might find that, you know, you make a lot more money over here, and you might not want to continue doing that, but that's up to you. So, yeah, that's what I got.
Nice. You know, when you were talking about something there, Amy, I was thinking back. I'm actually looking here. I want to throw a quick congratulations out to one of my team members, Matt Dillingham. He just had his first $1,000 commission yesterday, and that
Woohoo.
is like life changing. You know, like I remember my first $1,000 commission, and it was life changing. Like it blew my socks off. I couldn't even fathom that I made that kind of money because I wasn't even making that in a month at my job. So to make that, like, you know, literally, uh, it was just amazing to me. You know, but
Well, he was sleeping,
and he made it while he was sleeping, which is, you know, I didn't make it
which
while I was sleeping. I
happens a
actually
lot here.
spent time on the phone to do that. Ooh, folks, we gotta throw an income disclaimer out here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, our results aren't average. Our results aren't typical. There's going to be a link down at the bottom of this, or you can go to empowernetwork.com/income and check out the income disclosure, because our results aren't average. You know, making $1,000 while you sleep, that's not average. You know, otherwise everyone
But
would be
that's
doing it.
because we choose not to be average, and you can choose that too.
Right, right, right. So that $1,000 commission he made, it got me thinking about something here. One of the companies I was in, we had a higher end package of products that we would sell, and it would sell for $1,000. You know, we would sell it for $1,000, and if we'd sell this $1,000 higher end package, we would make $100. Right? We would make like an extra $100, and I remember getting all excited. I'm like, "Yay! I just made another $100." And realizing, you know, not that, you know what, I mean, I understand the MLM model. I understand it. When you have products to ship and all that other stuff, it can't happen the way that it happens here. We have digital products here that don't cost the same kind of money to produce. They don't cost the same kind of money to deliver. It's all digital information, and it's absolutely amazing digital information. We're in the information age, folks. So selling information, you know, no different than people going to college or taking online classes or buying books or buying, you know, a video training course or whatever. It's just coming via the internet. And not like a packaged product that gets sent to your house. So there's a lot less cost involved for the company, meaning they can pay us 100% commissions on almost every single product that we sell. There's a few that don't, but most of them pay 100% commissions for that very simple reason. So I understand why other companies can't do that. I understand, but the company here, the owners here, they did something that revolutionized the industry. You know, you might have noticed a lot of other 100% commission things popping up, and it's just interesting to look back. I'm like, you know, God, man, it used to seem so difficult to sell someone $1,000 thing, and I'd only make $100, and yet I was still getting so excited about that, right? Like, how many people out there have been in a company, aside from this, where you've had, you know, you have your initial buy-in, whatever it is, and then you have, you know, you have your monthly auto ship where you get paid a residual commission on, and it's usually like peanuts. And you know, supposedly here's the big thing about it, folks, is they say, yeah, you're only making a little bit, but you're going to get paid down like 12 levels or whatever it is, or 7 levels, or however many levels they decide to pay down. Here's the bottom line: out of the 160 something people that I brought into one of my companies, 9 of those people ever sponsored someone, and only one of those people ever went up and sponsored 6 people. That was the most that one of my team members sponsored. So out of all the people that I personally brought in, very little duplication actually occurred over the course of those 2 years. And it wasn't because my team didn't have marketing education and marketing training and whatnot. It was because people didn't see the vision. You know, like, I mean, I remember talking on the phone with someone, and we had gone through you know, a couple, like probably like an hour and a half of phone calls, because she was like ready to join, but then she wanted to get on a 3-way call, which is the way that the old model is done. So I got her on a 3-way call with my sponsor, and then we were scheduling a time to, like, we talked. She said she's ready to do it, but she needs to get the money in order, and so we scheduled the time to get together and sign her up, right? And then she wasn't there, and then she called me back a day later, and just this whole hoopla went around. And after talking to her, you know, finally, after talking to her, and I spent a couple hours on the phone with her through 3-way calls and doing everything I did, she finally said, you know what, I saw what you went through to try to get me to sign up here, and I don't want to do that with everyone that I bring in, right? So people see that kind of stuff, and they're like, I don't want to do that stuff. I don't want to have to do what you just did to get me to get someone to sign up, right? I mean, I'm not saying people can't make money doing that stuff, because they can. I've seen people make a lot of money doing that kind of stuff. But the majority of people aren't going to want to do that, right? Now, I'm not saying it doesn't take work to make money here, because it absolutely does take work. But the question that I have for you folks is, if you're going to get paid money, wouldn't you rather get paid a lot of money for selling the same amount of stuff versus a little bit of money for selling the same amount of stuff, right? And not counting, and I'm not saying that you don't want your team to duplicate, because our team is duplicating. Our team is seeing results. Team members, I've got team members that are 6, 7 levels down from me, you know? It's absolutely awesome to watch. People are succeeding all over the place inside of our team. It's just absolutely amazing to watch. I've never seen the amount of success that I've seen here inside of our team in anything else that I've ever touched, right? So absolutely we want people to succeed, but doesn't it make sense to rely only on your own efforts versus saying, I'm going to, put some people in, I'm going to put 2 people in or 4 people in or whatever, and they're supposed to go get 2 or 4 people, and they're supposed to go do the same thing. And the bottom line is that never happens. It doesn't happen that way. It never happens that way. I've never seen it happen that way ever. It's not 2 who get 2, and then 10 levels down you got 2 million people in your team, and you're making a penny off of every single person, and you're making a ton of money. It doesn't work that way, right? So wouldn't it make sense? Wouldn't it make sound business logic to rely solely on your own efforts? Because I know, there's people out there I know. I talked to a lady the other day. She's like, I was like, how many people have you, she's been involved in this company for like 2 months, and she's already brought in like 18 people or something like that. And I said, are you making good money? She said, not really, right? She hasn't made a lot of money yet. I'm like, you brought 18 people, and like, I think if I brought 18 people in here, my average customer is worth $800. That would have been like somewhere around $14,000 or $15,000 when I bring people in here, because they buy different product levels, right? And I get to keep a majority of the money. That's the huge difference there versus selling the same amount of stuff. I've watched people sell $2,000 packages and then walk away with like $200. It's like you're doing all this work to sell all this stuff, and then you're making nothing, right? Like the company's making the majority of the money, right? It's the way that it's always been done, right? And it works if you stick at it long enough and get enough people over the time period to go duplicate your results and all that good stuff. But the bottom line is, with the internet nowadays, to build a massive downline that's not going to look at something else and move somewhere else. Like, I remember back in the day, the first company I was ever involved in, I had no idea that other network marketing companies even existed, right? Because we didn't have the internet. We couldn't go Google stuff and research and see, that there's thousands of other companies available with other team leaders and stuff. Like, if you're in another company right now and you're not in ours, I would have had no idea that this even existed back in the day, because we were there. I was like, this is the best company ever. Why don't other things do this? Why don't other companies build stuff like this and sell stuff like this? It makes perfect sense, right? Well, you come online and there's so many different companies, and your people are looking at different things, whether they're making money or not. I've watched people that are making money in different companies decide to move to other companies, and just completely leave. Your downline can just go away in an instant. So doesn't it make sense to rely on the person that you can rely on, which is yourself, right? You can rely on yourself. So put yourself in position to profit the most from relying on your own efforts. And when the other money comes in, which it will come in, when that money comes in, then it's kind of like a bonus. Like every time Amy passes me up a commission, I'm like, ooh, bonus, yay. Like I count on that because I know Amy, so I know they're coming. Like, that's not an issue. But I look at what I do for myself. I look at my own production, and that's how I gauge my business. That's how I gauge what I want to do in my business and how much work I need to put in for what levels of income I want to hit. And then when my team members produce and whatnot and pass me up certain commissions, then it's a bonus to me. So I'm going to pass it to whoever else wants to chat really quick. And,
I would just say there, I see you had something there, Amy. I just want to say,
okay.
I'm really appreciative of when Amy passes me up commissions, too. I just wanted to throw that out there for you. Go ahead. I got something after you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just wanted to clarify, in case anybody's not already on our team or in our company, because we get this question all the time, how can the company possibly afford to pay 100% commissions? So this is the way that it works is we pay a monthly fee, affiliate fee of $19.95 a month. I believe it's $19.95 or $19.99, whatever. And so for basically $20 a month flat fee, we pay the company, and that pays because there's thousands or hundreds of thousands or whatever of members in the company. So that $20 per person that people are paying as the affiliate fee is what covers all the overhead for the company. It runs the company. It pays for, the facility and the staff and all of that stuff. And because we pay that $20 a month, we get the resale rights to the products, and we get to keep 100% commissions. Like Jordan said, on most of the products pay 100%. There's a couple that pay a little less, but it's a little less. It's like 80% or whatever. It's a lot more than what we were getting paid in our previous companies. And so anyway, I just wanted to clarify that because I know that a lot of times if people haven't heard of 100% commissions before, or they haven't been around us, they're kind of like, how is that even possible? So that's how it's possible. And personally, I highly, highly prefer paying a flat $20 a month and knowing that I get 100% commissions, because like Jordan said, I'm in control of that I'm going to produce way more than $20 worth of, or whatever. Like paying $20 a month works in my favor by far compared to what I was doing before, when the company was keeping 95% of my sales and I was getting 5%. So I happily pay that $20 a month to the company in exchange for being able to make 100% commission. So I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, you can leave some questions in the comments for us, but I just wanted to clarify that piece.
No, that was perfect, Amy. It made sense. Like that's what I love, is that, you know, that whole intention behind things. Like we have $20 a month, and we have the resale rights to resell products that are by some of the most reputable, successful people in the industry in terms of learning how to market, and you get to learn directly from them. And it's almost like you created the product and you were selling it, and you still get 100% of it, but yet other people who are very reputable, you may be new, and you get to capitalize on the authority and the experience of people who are teaching these products. So that's the cool thing. But I also want to quickly tell you guys a quick story about how this came about, as to help you understand why this goes on the way it does, and how you can profit from this, and how this is different from what you may be doing. You know, how we started this, one of the founders, David Wood, you know, I used to build businesses with him locally, building network marketing companies up in Fairbanks, Alaska. And we used to do those local meetings where we were constantly running around handing DVDs to people, inviting people to go to a meeting where we were, you know, pitching them on our deal and selling like some vitamins and health products and stuff. And, you know, it's like we had to go and hawk these DVDs and give out DVDs to people and almost coerce people to show up at these meetings. And, you know, if we invited 15 people, that like 3 would show up. That was just the numbers. That's how much wasted work it was. And we actually grew a little bit of a team, and then we all got real burnt out and never made any real significant money. And so from there, Dave really decided to learn, you know, how to do this internet stuff. And funny enough, the leaders in the company we were in at the time were saying, hey, don't do that internet stuff. It's very unsustainable. The people that you attract don't stick around. You don't build that high-touch mentality with people where you connect belly to belly. The strength of this industry is still belly to belly. That's what they were feeding us, right? And they were saying, don't go place ads. Don't go do, you know, types of advertising that work to build any type of business at all. And they said, just go make a list of your friends and family, and then go talk to business owners. Go walk in malls and Walmart and hit people up. And they didn't really teach, you know, online marketing or how to advertise or place ads or anything like that. And in fact, they discouraged us from that. However, it turns out the same people that were telling us that were in fact doing exactly that. They were placing ads in magazines, placing ads in newspapers, doing online internet advertising, doing Google pay-per-click ads. All of those things they said stay away from for us, but yet they were going and doing it. And it, you know, at first we were like, what the heck?
That happened to me too, buddy.
Yeah. and so the thing here is that, you know, Dave finally said, okay, screw this. I'm going to go and learn how to market online and find out what these guys are really talking about online. And so he started to learn some intricate ins and outs, and started having success doing online marketing online. And some of you may remember me telling the story about how he came to my house and had made $10,000 that night from a webinar. And, you know, like we refresh the screen and it's like 11,000. Refresh the screen again, it's like 11,500. More commissions are coming in. It was insane. I'm looking at him like, whatever you're doing, I'm doing. Let's do it. No, because at that point, I had become very burned out on the industry. I didn't want to go and talk to people and hit people up and all those things. It was so tiring to me that I was out. And until that day he came to my house, he hadn't showered in 3 days. He smelled absolutely god-awful horrible because he had been preparing for this stuff for like a couple of days straight, just up, not sleeping. And so he comes in and I'm like, whoa. And he sits down and he puts his laptop in front of me and he's like, hit refresh. So I hit the enter button and it refreshes the screen and more commissions. And I'm like, how long did it take to make this? And he's like, that's tonight. I was like, you're kidding me. You know, it was insane. And so he said, Chris, we don't have to do this old school stuff. I found out that these people that told us not to do it, that's how they become huge top producers and make a lot of money. And funny enough, fast forward, we were sitting having a conversation with some company owners about 5 to 6 months later. And I was actually like in the room for a little bit, and then I was outside, but Dave was talking with them mostly because they were trying to recruit Dave into that company, getting him to jump to another company. And this is what, I still remember the look on Dave's face. He walked out of that room and he said, you wouldn't believe what he told me. You wouldn't believe what their actual intention is. You wouldn't believe how they look at us. You won't believe it. And so I asked him, I was like, well, tell me, what was it? And he said, you know, they look at us like a number where it's very understood that the average person sponsors 2.2 people into their business. And based on those numbers, if they can pay you as little as possible up until the point where you sponsor 3, then they know they can, through the masses of people only doing that, they can design their comp plan around that to where you get almost no money from those 2.2 people. If you sponsor only 2, you're still not really getting anything. And from there, they know that there's that 1% of producers who will go and do all of the advertising and place ads and do all of the marketing that you learn in marketing school, and you know, now most of it's internet, and that they will go and get all of those people, the other 98 to 99%, that they'll never teach how to do this stuff, and all they get them to do is talk to their closest family and friends, make a list, and they sponsor on average 2.2 people. And they expect them to fail. They know that the attrition rate is 47 days later they're going to be gone. But they hope that they get those 2.2 people in, and that's how they ran their math. They knew it already, and that's how they looked at it is, we have a business where 1% makes money. They design their business that way. They design their comp plans that way. And he looked at me, and I'm just like, I looked like I'd seen a ghost, because I was like, I can't believe that here, you know, for most of my adult life, I've been fed these lies about the industry that, you know, this was such a place where there's a lot of personal growth going on. Well, yeah, that's, if you stick around, you do grow because it's difficult. And I just couldn't believe it. But it turned out that, you know, when he said it, I knew he was serious. I knew he was telling the truth. And so, you know, we were able to, because there was nothing better at the time, we were able to learn how to do the online marketing and learn how to get leads and set up funnels and automated funnels and really be able to make this work for us to where we could reach a large audience of people just through blog posts and through placing ads and doing all the marketing stuff that we teach. And we didn't know where there was a better deal at the time. We just knew that if we did it in this company and we were a part of that 1%, we'd make a lot of money. But we were plagued with, how can we get everyone to make money? Because we didn't want people coming in and then we didn't want to give them the tools to really make it happen. We wanted to give them the tools. We wanted to know how we could do that and make it work for them. And so we tried to teach a lot of online marketing, and it turns out some people were starting to have success. But the reality is most of the people still invested so much time and money that they were still leaving before they were having success. Because online marketing, let's be real here, can take some time to learn as well, especially if you haven't done it before. And so it takes some time. Now, it's definitely worth it in the end if you stick with it. But until then, it's tough. You learning this stuff, I mean, it's fun if you get into it, and most people do when they get into it. But you got to get into it. And the thing here is, when we finally said, how about we do something about this? Why don't we create something that is a different model altogether, that is engineered and designed for that person to succeed, and in fact will expect it. And instead of building these teams that only filter up money to the top people, let's put the responsibility back on the individual to be able to produce and be responsible for their own outcome, for their own results, and do just enough of a compensation plan pass-up system that breeds the right culture where people stay connected and still want to help each other. And you know what? We exploded faster than any other MLM company ever has in the history of the industry. So if that's not proof for you, then I don't know what is. Now the good news is that vision has never changed. That vision is here for people to make money. In fact, funny enough, just recently our new CEO, Jonathan Cronstead, came in and was going through a lot of the books and looking at the company and what we were doing with our expense accounts. And this is public knowledge. This was on a call here recently, on a conference call. So people know this. And Dave told Jonathan, we designed this we didn't design this company to make money. We designed it because we wanted to help people make money. That's why we let them keep all the money, and we just have a $20 flat fee to help run the company, to keep it going, to service our members, and the rest they keep. That's what this thing is about. This wasn't about making money. David Wood was already making $100 grand a month when he started Empower Network. He did not need the money. And so the funny thing is, he told Cronstead that, he said, we didn't set this up to make money, so you're not going to find a lot of, pockets of money moved around. And Cronstead, after doing a thorough look through of everything, said, it is very, very clear to me and apparent that you did not design this company to make money, because you guys are spending money on your affiliates and everybody more than you're making. So we need to clean some of this up so we can still have a company that we can have this amazing opportunity with. So funny enough, the vision goes from, let's see how many people we can get in that we know are going to quit in 47 days, but by the math, we'll still be able to keep a lot of money, and we have some money that we give to our top producers, but 98% of the people fail. Or let's go to a company where the people are all about, hey, let's give you every reason and every right and every engineered way possible that we know to make it possible for you to have success, and put the responsibility and stack the odds for you rather than against you. How about we go there and create that? And that's what we have here. And now we've created a paradigm game changer in the industry where people are copying us now. But the sad part is they're doing it now because they see that they can sustain the business model because we've made it work, but the vision isn't always the same. Mm. And the vision here has never changed. As I was having a conversation with Dave just a while back, where he was reiterating about how people were talking bad about him because they were essentially jealous, wishing they had the idea. And he was like, but Chris, you know what? They'll never have what we have, because this has never been about the money, and it will never be about the money for me. I want this community to thrive. We need to make this industry a better place. Is that the kind of place you want to be at? If so, you may want to click that link below and get started. So back on over to you, Jordan.
Man, I have nothing to follow that up with.
I can say something.
Good. I was just going to say I was getting frustrated for a moment there. If you couldn't tell, I was starting to get angry for a moment. Go for it, Amy.
No, I just wanted to say quickly, like Chris said, there are a lot of copycat companies out there now that this has been a paradigm shift in the industry. But there's nothing quite like this. There's nothing. The vision, David Wood is a true visionary with an enormous heart. And I mean, I've looked around to kind of see what else is happening out there, and I see other people making money doing other spin-offs and stuff like that. But I don't see. But I see a lot of the same things like Chris just explained happening behind the scenes. And it's just the thing about this place, and the thing about David Wood is he's so transparent. He will jump on a call with the entire company and just admit if he's made a mistake and make it right, and he just cares so much about people. And to have a company founder, owner, whatever his title is, that that has never changed for him. He's never turned into like a greedy person who is going to like change the comp plan on us without, I mean, people do that. Companies do that all the time. And what I love about this place is I know that I trust him, and I trust Jonathan Kronstadt's been, however you say his last name, just a blessing to the company as well. And so we're in really good hands here. We're like in hands of people that truly care about us and our families. Like that's how it feels to me. Like I feel like me and my family are safe here, not like some of the other bullshit that Chris was just talking about. That where yeah, you can go make a few bucks in some of these other companies. And I'm not saying that like every other company is bad. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that just to piggyback on what like this. And I've been in this industry for, I don't even know what it is now, 11 years or something, and there's nothing like it. So I'm grateful every day to be here, and like the company, because it grew so fast right out of the gates, we've had growing pains. I mean, I've been here since the beginning of Empower Network. I was here when our merchant accounts got shut down, and some people ran away when that happened. I didn't. I stuck it out, and we've had a couple other hiccups along the way, and for me, like, I just stick it out every time, and I just trust that not only will things get fixed, but they'll be improved upon, and that's what's happened over and over, and that's what's happening now. And it's what's always happening here. It's like, it's almost like David Wood and company are looking for ways to help us make more money and to serve us better. So I love that about this place. That's all.
That's all.
That's all. That's all, folks.
Yeah.
Right on. I do want to say something, Amy, because I think I made this pretty clear in the beginning, but I definitely want to say this. I do know, like what you just said, not every company is out there to get people. Not every other network marketing company is like that. There are definitely a lot like that. There are definitely a lot of companies out there that just want to make the money themselves. Like that's definitely there. I know one of the companies I was in, looking back on it, like the owners did not have a heart of gold. Another company I was in, the owners had absolute hearts of gold, and they said one thing we will always do is if we can change the comp plan, we will change it, but we will only put more money in your pockets. That being said, they still couldn't compete with the amount of money that this company can put in my pockets. So nice try, but it just didn't work out that way. So. Really, folks. Here's the thing. We put this training on tonight, and just to kind of draw some light to this, because some people still just don't get it. And there's a lot of new people coming into the industry all the time, and there's a lot of myths out there about the industry and about what it takes to succeed. I remember seeing the circles the first time. I was hooked. I was 18 or 19 or whatever I was, and I saw this whiteboard, this guy who was drawing up on the it wasn't even a whiteboard. We had projector screens, with the slides and whatnot. We had that going on back then, and I remember him flipping through these slides, and he's showing us these numbers. He's like, if you bring 3 people in, who get 3, all the way down to like 7 or 8 levels or whatever, you're gonna have, it was like 700,000 people on whatever level, and you're making like a 0.5% of their monthly. It was a cell phone company or a telecom company at the time. It's out of business now. It was a telecom company, and it was I saw these numbers, and I'm like, man, if I can just get 3 people to get in here, I know 3 friends that would want this. My brother had already taken all the family. Like I was the one who got shown by my older brother, and the family was all off limits. They were already gone. Like I couldn't touch them because they were already taken. And so I'm like trying to get friends. After a month and a half, 2 months or whatever, the company actually started going out of business because they sold, some big stuff happened, whatever. But I saw these numbers and I was hooked, right? And the bottom line is, like, that is such a solid dream for lazy frickin' people, right? You mean I got to bring in 3 people and then they each do the same thing and then I make a ton of money forever? Like that's the dream that's being preached. And while it can work in theory, the one thing that I really appreciate about Dave Wood, I was actually chatting with someone about this earlier today or maybe yesterday, is he's dead serious with people. He's not telling you any bullshit like bring 2 people in and you'll make a ton of money. He says bring 2 people in a day, right? Now, that being said, folks, I've never consistently brought 2 people in a day in this company in my life. The first month we launched, I brought in 35 or 40 people or so. Ever since then, the most people I've ever brought in a month as of yet. I've got some stuff that I'm working on that's just about to turn the juice on. It's going to be crazy. But as of last year, the most people I brought in a month was like 13, maybe 12. And I've been creating, I created a lot of 5-figure months last year, and it's just absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing, right? So Dave preaches, though, that you can rely on your own efforts, not bring 2 people and watch this trickle-down effect happen and all that stuff. And while that can happen in theory, the people that make the most money in our industry are the ones that go out there and produce like crazy and build a huge frontline team and get some producers going on. Those are the people that really make the big money in our industry. And Dave knows that, so he doesn't sugarcoat it and say, oh, yeah, like lollipops and rainbows and bring in 2 people and then sit on your ass and do nothing and watch your organization duplicate and explode and you make a ton of money because everyone needs our product and service and the product sells itself. He doesn't, he's not like that. He's not like that at all, and I truly appreciate that. So, folks, if you're out there and you're still holding on to that dream of I can go sponsor 2 people and make a ton of money, and on the 5% commissions or the 3% or the 1% or even the 10% or whatever it is you're making, if you still want to hold on to that dream, keep holding on to that. And some of you are going to go out there and you're going to produce a ton of results, but it's not going to be from bringing 2 people, and you're going to go out there and produce a ton of results, and you can make a ton of money in the MLM industry. Like, I know that if I wanted to, knowing what I know now and knowing that how to build now and actually create duplication in my team, I know that I could go out there and create a hugely successful team in any single company. But the question that I always ask myself, and I've even thought about this, one of my goals when I came back over here 16 months ago was, I'm going to get things going over there. I'm going to really figure this model out. I'm really going to figure out how to systematize and duplicate and all that stuff, which we've done. We figured out all of that. And I'm really going to get that going, and then I'm going to take the exact same systematic process, and I'm going to go do it with a different company. And the thing that I always thought about was, if I'm going to go stick some time and effort and energy into building another income stream, why would I go do it to make 5% commissions? Why would I go do it? Why wouldn't I just stick more time, energy, and effort into increasing my team here where I can make a whole lot more money, right? Like, why waste my energy on something that's not going to make me a whole lot of money, right? Like, why do that, right? If I want to go stick my time and energy into something else outside of Empower Network, I'm going to figure out how to make money outside of the home business industry. I'm going to figure out how to make money doing things that aren't going to interfere in the home business industry. Getting into, I don't even know what yet, real estate or other things of that nature. Because if I'm going to be dipping my toe in the, not even dipping my toe, but if I'm going to be going into the home business industry here, I'm going to be doing it in a place where I can make the kind of money that I deserve to make. The kind of money, not only for me, but I just posted something. I just posted something on Facebook, and I just say, I've never seen team members succeed before. I've never had the pleasure of watching people make money before. I've never had the pleasure of watching people's lives change before, and it's so gratifying. It's such a blessing to be able to watch that. To watch my team members put in their effort, put in their energy, and get paid what they're worth, and actually make a life-changing income. I've never, ever seen that before, and it's just so much fun. So, folks, you're here right now. If you're here right now, if you're still watching and you're not yet in the team, if you're if you're involved in the MLM industry, the home business industry, which there's a good chance you are, I'm not saying everything else sucks out there. I'm not saying you should stop doing whatever else you're doing. What I'm saying is you should really take a good hard look by getting inside with the person who invited you here tonight, by clicking that button down below for $25. Get on the inside and see what it's like. At least learn the way that we build, if nothing else, even if you don't decide to resell our products, even if you don't decide that you want to become an affiliate here and make a ton of money with us, learn how we market, why we market the way we do, and all the phenomenal internet marketing training and business building training that's inside the products. They can and will teach you how to build any single company on the internet, any single network marketing company. I could take what I know now and I could apply this to build a team anywhere else. My personal preference, and I'm not going to knock you if that's what you do, if you decide you want to come here and invest a few $1,000s into all the awesome training that's taught me as well as Chris and Amy and all of our team members how to build successful teams, create systems, put duplication processes in place, and have a life at the same time. I went on 23 vacations last year. Amy, she works on the side of spending her entire life with her daughters, being a single mother. Chris, he's been messing around for almost a month now, driving around, going around Alaska and Canada, and he's taken a much deserved vacation. I mean, he's only gone on, I don't know, 10 or 15 vacations in the past year, so he needed one, But folks, if you want to learn that, get in and buy the products and go through and implement that into whatever business you're in. I promise you, it's going to help you if you implement what we teach. That being said, if you want to get in and actually make some real money here and create a massive residual income with the same amount of effort that you put into building any other team, but create it much bigger, much faster, well, doesn't it make sense to get paid 100% commissions? Click the button down below right now. Get started with us. I'm going to let Amy or Chris go next, and I'm actually done for the night. So I'm going to pass it to you guys, and we'll close it out.
Sweet. Well, yeah, I love this. I'm just going to close with one quick last thing. Last week I went to a network marketing event, and I knew that's what it was, and I happily went to support somebody in my neighborhood. And it was just like, I love the network marketing industry. I think that there's a lot of amazing products out there, and I actually went and spent a few $100s on some skincare stuff at that night. And it was actually, God, it brought back a lot of memories, mostly not very good ones. Like, this woman was really good at what she did. Like, the presentation was awesome, and it's more streamlined now than it was when I was doing it. Like, she just whipped out her laptop and showed us a video, and I had a flip chart back. I'm aging myself here, but I'm showing my age here. But anyway, it felt really good, first of all, to be able to just spend a few $100s and support her in her business. But what was funny about it was that they give you the opportunity to buy the products after they explain all about them, but they also give you the opportunity to be an educator, to go around and educate people about the importance of these natural skincare products that don't have shitty ingredients in them, which I think it's a great cause and everything like that, but I have no interest in that. Like, I don't have to think about it. Like, I have no interest in that. And at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, God, this woman is really good at what she does. I would love to have her on my team in Empower Network. But the thing is, and Jordan and I experienced this together a couple weekends again too, like, when I run into somebody like that now, I don't even think about prospecting them. Where before, I was like expected to, like, especially like I was with Jordan at a coffee shop, and we ran into this woman who, she was like the ideal prospect. She had "please recruit me" like plastered on her forehead, and she was basically begging us to tell her what we do. And like, that would have been a sin in my other company, to be standing there with my upline and not do something. Like, he would have been nudging me or something, and we didn't do anything. And then, like, at this event,
I will say this: I nudged her and I was like, "Don't you dare prospect that lady."
Yeah, and then, like, at this event I went to the other night, there was so much opportunity there for me to just be like, you guys got to see what I do. Like, it's so much better than, like, I don't know how much you just made off of my $300 purchase, but it's, it's probably like $20. I don't know how much she made, but it's, she's got kids and stuff. Like, I'm like, God, I want to help her make the kind of money she deserves, to be able to, like, have more free time and have more money to spend with her time to spend with her kids and money to spend on her kids. And yet, it's just not how we do it anymore. And, like, I can walk around the playground at school and prospect if I want to, but I don't. And that's the beauty of what we learn inside of our products, is we learn how to market in a way where my family doesn't even, like, understand what I do anymore, where before they had no choice but to know every single thing about my business, constantly having me, like, breathing down their neck about it. And so that's one of the things I love the most about this. Yeah, the money's great, the residual income's awesome, pays way better than anything else, but the training that we get that teaches us how to market in a way that's fun, in a way that we can look forward to doing it every day, like Chris said, like, we get into it. Like, those of us that get into it, we get into it. Like, we love it. We're passionate about it. I was never passionate about cold calling realtors or, doing home parties. Like, it was something I did because I was driven, but I was never, like, psyched about it. So anyway, this has been an awesome topic tonight, and I just wanted to add that to it, because it's more than just about the money. It's about the fact that we get to make the money doing things that we actually enjoy. and that's a big piece of it for me. And then I get to spend the money by supporting other people that are still in the network marketing industry and buying their products from them, so they can make 5% commissions off of my purchase. So anyway, that's what I got.
All right, and I want to close this off here, and I want to tell you guys a real quick story, something that happened to me actually this morning to close this out, and this is going to be absolutely hysterical to those of you that just know, to those of you that just have been through this industry and you know the pitfalls, the shortcomings, the downfalls, how weird and awkward it can be in certain situations and stuff like that, trying to do it the traditional way. And funny enough, I was invited to speak at my nephew's class in school this morning. And, you know, it's not very often you're in this industry and you get invited to come in for, you know, career day and you get to talk about what you do. And you can imagine, you know, when my nephew asked me, I said, "Does your teacher know what I do?" And he's like, "Yeah, you know, you do affiliate marketing and market on the internet." And I was like, "Okay, you realize I'm going to walk in there and say I hate jobs, and you should be an online entrepreneur, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Okay, all right." And so you can imagine the shock on people's faces when they started to ask me some questions, because there were a few kids there like 15 to 17 years old in this high school, and a couple of them are actually already getting into internet marketing and selling, you know, gaming stuff or selling comedy stuff and everything on Instagram and like hacking Instagram. These kids are so smart; they know how to hack stuff all the time. So like hacking Instagram and getting all kinds of followers and crazy stuff like that. And they wanted to pick my brain about, you know, how I'm doing this stuff. And, you know, they were thinking, you know, they were really hot stuff because one of them had made like, you know, $60 a week for like 3 straight weeks. And hey, you know, better than nothing, right? For a 16-year-old kid, you know, that doesn't have a job, that's pretty amazing, you know, if you can do that. And I'm sitting there and they're asking me questions. And so just income disclaimer, as we did earlier, my results are not typical. But I should have said this at the beginning of the talk rather than halfway through when one of them said, "Well, how much are you making? What do you do?" And so someone asked me that halfway through, and I kind of had to stand there for a second, and I kind of gave them a little bit of suspense and had an awkward silence. I was like, "Well," you know, and almost made it look like I wasn't, you know, like it wasn't much. And then I said, "You know, I did, with all my income streams, just a little over 160,000 last year." And every single one of those kids who was like this leaned forward, their eyes got really big, and they were like, "How do we do what you do?" And even the teacher went from this to this. And so results not typical. I went absolutely freaking crazy. And I've been in this industry and have developed some skill sets that I've stayed very consistent in to create that type of income, along with being locked in with great leaders and great people like Jordan and Amy and supporting the team. So my results are not typical, however, they are very possible for those of you that choose to go after it. And the reason I'm telling you this story is I saw a lot of kids in there, and you know, the big shift was for them that a lot of them are being told by people who are well-intentioned and good-meaning to get their education and go into college for something that has a high-paying scale level, something that pays them well and is very secure. And that's how they're supposed to find happiness. And that's the saddest state of affairs I've seen with our youth these days, because they're going after the money. And I was able to actually explain to them that I can live my passions and have my true creative expressions expressed through my business every day and make a residual income and a solid income from it that allows me to have the type of life that I want, and then be able to live my passions and do the things I want to do and be able to contribute to the things I want to contribute to. If it's helping my family, I can do that. If it's travel, I can do that. If it's make sure all my bills are paid and invest and put money away, I can do that. If it's making sure that, you know, anything that needs to be taken care of monetarily can be taken care of, and I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to deal with the frustration of not being, you know, not having enough month at the end of the money. And I did say that right. So, this is something that can pay you if you really make the decision and the choice for it. So what it really comes down to is, I taught those kids, do what makes you happy, find a way to find your creative expression, and above and beyond anything else, don't quit. People quit too early. And I think that I may have just changed a life today, and that's worth it for me. So it comes down to choice time. And that's what I'm saying to all of you out there. For those of you that were invited tonight, checking this thing out, it's a choice. And you have that choice right in front of you right now. And you can do one of two things. You can choose to find a reason why this wouldn't work for you by A, comparing yourself to others and saying they do this and I could never do that, which is complete bullshit. Or two, B, you can, B is look at it and start to think you're not good enough for it. You could never learn it. And both of those are BS, because I've seen people go through absolute transformations. You don't even know that you don't know yet, but give yourself a chance. So you could also choose to say, you know what, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna click that link below. I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna get my blog. I'm gonna start learning what Team Be the Change has to offer. I'm gonna find out what my purpose and my passions are. I'm gonna discover those, and I'm gonna start to be happier and live a more joyous and life of more freedom. And yes, will it take sacrifice and work? Absolutely. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it's there for you if that's the choice. So the choice, do you want to choose the same, which is the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results? Or B, make a real choice and change something and take control of your own future? And that's it. Join us. We'll see you on the inside. Click the link below. And on that note, we'll see you all next week. Those of you on the Master's Call, we'll see you tomorrow. And we'll see you on the next Hangout with more free, awesome training next week. See you then. We love you guys. Take care.
Love you guys.